Hello everyone and welcome to DutchGreyBeard. Last night I was peacefully minding my own business, which in my case means reading a good book, until something absolutely awful happened. Something you do not wish to happen to any reader, especially not yourself. I was reading in this book, Towers of Midnight, Book 13 in the Wheel of Time, and I was having an absolute blast. I started reading this huge series on January 15, 2023 to be exact, and have so far been through an awe-inspiring journey. In this overview you can see my reading pace. I'm off to a flying start, but after The Shadow Rising, I allowed myself to read other books in between. From The Fires of Heaven, I read one book in the series fairly constantly every month until Crossroads of Twilight. This book I liked the least. Until the next book, Knife of Dreams, I took a Wheel of Time break longer than 2 months. And before I picked up The Gathering Storm, another 2 Wheel of Timeless months had passed. But that book almost literally dragged me back into the story, and Book 13, Towers of Midnight, also won't let me go. Until last night, when I was forced to let it go myself. The book is extremely exciting. At the point I was reading about one of the main characters who has just endured a series of extremely miserable experiences. Those of you who've read the series know exactly what impressive scene I'm talking about. This is part of a test, and others are discussing her fate. Super exciting and extremely impressive. Until this happened. For this video I staged it, of course, because I normally don't film while I'm reading. At the end of the page I read, "You've spent too much time in Tel Aran-Riot. This..." Next page. Bragging about that, though Matt would... Huh? Again. No, it really doesn't match. Which page am I on? 338 and 307? You've got to be joking. Perhaps just one of the sections was accidentally used twice and I can still continue reading. Let's see. "You've spent too much time in Tel Aran-Riot. This... it's this. Find out who you would..." Page 338 and 371. Oh no! So the entire section that starts on page 307 is duplicated, and the correct section that starts on page 339 is missing. How do I feel at this moment?
No! God, please, no! No!
So, there I was, being innocent like a newborn child while being severely punished at the same time. Against my better judgment, I continued to leaf through the book, hoping that the missing section might be elsewhere. But all I found was that this error occurs again further down. The section that starts on page 627 is also included twice, and the section that starts on page 595 is missing. This is truly the worst nightmare that could happen to me as a reader. Even if it were a book that didn't fascinate me that much, I would be very disappointed. But this book kept me completely on the edge of my seat, and then to be so rudely thrown out of the story, I still get the shivers thinking back on it. For 1 second at most, I considered returning the book and requesting a new copy, but that is way too cumbersome, time-consuming, and besides, I bought it over a year ago. Moreover, in this flawed edition, I underlined and wrote comments in the margins in these first 338 pages. So, all that was left for me to do was to buy a new version of this book, but in a different edition. Fortunately, the series is still so popular that several editions are available. It will be delivered tomorrow. Then I can continue with the story that I love so very much. That means that I'll be reading something different today. That's no problem at all. I've got enough books to read. I'm going to survive, although I have to be honest, I hope I never experience this again. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video didn't freak you out too much. Until we meet again at Dutch Greybeard.